Wow, I'm so excited. It's another wonderful episode on Business Talk Show. My name is Agbe Fuijan and you're watching Celebration TV Business Talk Show. Today we'll be talking on fish farming. Wow, what a topic. I'm not left in the studio alone. I'm having a wonderful guest who will be taking us through this topic and also sharing his success story with us. But before I do the introduction, we'll go on a short break, and when we are back, I'll be introducing our guest for today. Please stay with us. Wow. Welcome back, and in case you are just joining us, this is Business Talk Show on Celebration TV. Like I said, today we'll be talking on fish farming, and we're having a special guest who will be taking us through this topic and also sharing his success story. He is a business coach, he is an entrepreneur, and also a practicing fish farmer. He is Mr. Motiga Victor Samuel. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yes, I celebrate you.
It's business.
Fine, we bless God.
Right. Today, like I said, we will be talking on fish farming. So I just want you to give us an introduction on fish farming.
All right, thank you. Fish farming is the act of rearing fish for business and human consumption.
Wow.
So for today now, I can say for the food global market, fish is one of the top in the chart. Everybody needs fish because of the high protein everywhere. So the demand is very high than we, the farmers now, cannot meet the demand. So it's a business that I will encourage anyone to go into it.
Wow, that's interesting.
Thank you.
You said fish farming, the process of rearing, processing fishes,
yes,
not just for human consumption, also for
business.
Yes. And today we're on Business Talk Show, so we want to talk strictly on business.
Yes.
So, sir, what are the basic requirements one need to put in place or consider before going to fish farming?
All right. The basic requirement, number one, you need capital.
Wow.
Any business in Nigeria or in the globe today, you need capital to start.
Okay.
In terms of money, finance, you need capital. Then after capital, you need your land or site or space where you can put the pond. Then you need the construction of the pond.
Construction of the pond.
Then beside that, you need a good water source.
Wow.
Fish lives, survives by water. So you need water. Then you need manpower, that is the labor.
Okay.
Those are the basic things you need for a start.
You said capital, you need land or site.
Yes.
And you also need manpower, water.
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yes.
Sometimes ago, a friend asked me that if he or she wants to go into fish farming, and you just mentioned capital. So how much are we looking at? Is it capital intensive?
No. Fish farming, you can start from the minimum. You can start with 100 fish.
100 fishes?
Yes, to 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. So depend on your capacity. Okay. It's not a business that you are restricted that you must have 1 million or 500,000, no.
So how much are we looking at in capital?
To the minimum, you can start with 50,000. To the
50,000?
To the minimum.
Wow.
Because in everything you grow.
So with 50,000 I can be a fish farmer?
Yes.
Wow. So how is that possible?
It's very possible. You start small. Start with 100 at home without spending money on construction.
No, I don't really need site.
No.
Okay.
If you just have a little space behind your house or around you, balcony, and you can start it. Then gradually you grow to getting a land or renting. You can still rent. So most times we don't advise people to go into fixed assets because they eat money and they discourage people. So you can rent. Anything that you can buy, you can rent. So if you can rent a space, or sometimes there are some persons that have a fenced land around us that they don't use. You can talk to them, sir, please, can I use your your land for just a few period of time. Okay. They will allow you. So before you know now, you grow. As you are growing, the business itself has good return. You will be establishing yourself. Before you know, you are now a major farmer.
Wow, that's interesting. Yes. Mr. Samuel Victor just told us with as low as 50,000, you can start practicing fish farming. Wow, that's that for the capital. Yes. Now, with as low as 50,000, we don't actually need a land.
No,
like
you
said,
need a land.
Can just use any free space.
Yes.
Now, what about the pond? Because you made mention of construction of pond.
Yes.
So if I don't have a land, do I necessarily need to construct a pond, or no. I can use? Is there alternative?
Yes.
Okay.
In the pond construction, we have the earthen pond.
Okay.
We have the concrete pond. We have the trampoline, or our tank, our water tank.
Looking for, yeah.
Yes, our water tank. Now, sometimes you might have somebody that have an old tank that is not using.
Okay.
You ask them, please, can I use your tank? They will give you, or sometimes you can buy it, 5,000, 10,000 naira. So you can find out that with that now, you can, with a tank, you can grow 100 to 200 fish inside that. Yes, you cut it open.
Okay.
So you can find that the cost of production is already low. Wow. Then you started there. So after like 1 or 2 harvests, you can see that your capital will increase. You can now go for trampoline, or the more you are going, the more you see that opportunity will be open for you. Another alternative will come. Before you know, you grow. Or sometimes from one of the tank, you can get 2, you can get 3. Now, if you stock 100 for each of the tank, you already have 300.
Yeah.
Now, after harvesting 300, you grow, you go for 400. So before you know, at the end of 1 year, 2 years, you have 1,000 already.
Wow.
And you're not a major farmer.
That's interesting. That means that with as low as 50, 100,000, I can start practicing fish farming.
Yes.
Just get a little space behind or around my premises.
Yes.
Get a tank.
Yes.
Or any tarpaulin that I can actually use.
Yes.
Wow. It's not, I thought it was actually capital intensive.
No. Except you want to go for commercial, like for those of us that are privileged to have money, capital, and here you can go for the bigger one. But for a starter, don't be discouraged. Anything you have, 50,000, 100,000, you can start with it.
Okay.
When you grow, it's better to manage than to restrict yourself because of capital.
Let's combine these two. You said you also made mention of source of water and manpower, which is labor.
Yes.
So for a small or for a beginner, a starter, how do we get, you said clean, hygienic water, right?
Yes.
So since I don't have borehole, how do I get water to, you said fish survive mainly on water. So how do I get hygienic water for my fish pond?
For today now, I can say anywhere we are living, 5 meters to where we are staying, you will find water. You will find borehole.
Yeah, in our today's society. Yeah, that's
so
true.
If your house does not have water, maybe a neighbor also we have. It's all about approach. So please, I'm about to go into this
fish farming.
Can you please help me with water? It's not every day.
Okay.
Sometimes you can change it within 3 to 5 days. So it's not something you change every day. So the person will allow you. But most of our houses now, we have water. We have water. And most of the water, they are clean. So you can start with it.
So do you actually need laborers, or it can actually be a one-man business for a starter?
The laborers are for those that I want to go into it big.
Commercial. Commercialize.
Yes, like we started it on our own, alone.
Wow.
I do it alone.
Vital.
Yes. So until God blesses us and we are growing, we have to employ people to assist. But for a fish farm of less than 2,000, 3,000, you can do it on yourself, by yourself.
Wow, that's interesting. You made a striking point now, which after the short break, we'll talk on it.
Okay.
You said as time grows, you begin to employ people.
Yes.
That means if I'm a fish farmer, I can also employ, I can be an employer of labor.
Yes.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yes.
It's still Business Talk Show on Celebration TV, and we are discussing fish farming. We'll go on a short break, and when we are back, discussion continues. Please stay with us. Welcome back. It's still Business Talk Show on Celebration TV. Wow, we've been discussing a lot on fish farming. In case you're just joining us, please sit very, very well. You are going to enjoy what we are about to enter into. Mr. Victor.
Yes.
We were talking on basic requirements, which we already emphasized on. You said capital, need land, site, water, construction of pond, and labor. And it's so exciting to know that with as low as 50,000, I can be a fish farmer. Wow, that's interesting. Now, I quickly want to ask this question. I attended a seminar some time ago at Benin, precisely, and we're asked to draw a business plan, and somebody drafted out this same fish farming. And the question the person was asked, when he was asked to defend his proposal, rather, and it was asked, why should I go into fish farming?
Okay.
So I don't know why. I'm now asking you, why should I go into fish farming? Where there are other agricultural products and farming that I can also engage myself in. Why should I go into fish farming?
Okay. Why should you go into fish farming? And now, before I answer that question, let me bring you something. We are dealing on catfish for this subject, catfish.
Yeah, catfish.
Now, but all those requirements are for all the generally.
Yeah.
So on this very one now is catfish.
Okay.
Now, presently now, catfish has the highest demand.
Yeah, that's true.
Presently now.
Yeah, statistically.
Number two, it is very simple to start and maintain.
Very simple.
Very simple.
Wow.
Number three, it has lower loss rate.
Lower loss rate.
And it can be minimized to the minimum.
Wow.
To the minimum. Now, if you follow the procedures or you get a consultant, I can assure you that you will have minimum of, let's say, 2 to 5% loss.
Wow.
So it can be minimized. So it's a business that whatever you put in, you will be sure. Sometimes we calculate our profit on stocking.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Is it a long-term investment or a short-term investment?
It's a short term.
Short term.
3-4 months.
You can get your capital and profit.
So most of the time we say, okay, if I stock 2,000 now, I will be expecting like 1 million, 1 point. We know what we are expecting.
Wow.
And 100%, 80% sometimes it comes exactly.
So you can
even
just
more than,
calculate your payback
we calculate
period
it
very shortly.
Very easy. So it's a business that you are rest assured that it works.
You made mention of low rate return on losses.
Yes.
I don't know if you can tell us, I don't really know the term, but I know it's either mortality or immortality, something like that. I used to hear they said when the catfish gets grown or bigger, they eat the smaller ones.
Yes.
And you are now saying we have a low rate of
mortality.
So how?
Now, most times people do it ignorantly.
Okay.
Now, when you have a right training, like what we are doing now, it will help you to avoid those things.
Okay.
Now, for every fish that you stock, it's been advised for them to be of the same size.
The same size?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, after that, naturally, when 10 people grow, one will be more taller. Yes.
Yeah.
So after like 2-3 weeks, you will find out that there are some shootouts. We call them shootouts.
Okay.
They will just grow faster than the other one. Get them out.
Okay, you sort.
You sort it.
Wow.
Instantly. If there are one or two, you can use your fishing net to pick them away.
We call them another pond.
Yes, another pond.
Okay.
We call them shootouts. Now, if you leave them, assuming you have 5 shootouts, and each 5 eats 2 fishes daily.
Wow.
You see it now? And you leave them for 2-3 months, that means they have consumed about 300 to 400 fishes out of your 1,000. So most people will be complaining that now it is ignorant.
So how do you check? Is it after 3 days?
Why feeding? Why feeding? Okay. You see them. They come up.
Okay.
You see it now. But if you cannot see them, if you are changing water for those in trampoline or concrete, if you are changing the water, you will now see them that this one is bigger. If the margin is big.
Sir, before you continue, you said concrete and tarpaulin pond. I don't really. Can you tell us about the two?
The pond, you know the earthen pond, you dig the ground. Okay. You don't change water often.
That one, is it concrete or tarpaulin?
No, it's earthen. You dig the ground. Yes, earth, yes. Okay. So that one, you don't change water
regularly.
often.
Okay.
So what you do that one is just observation. If you are feeding them, they will come up. So any big one you see, you will use your fishing net to pick it.
Wow.
But for the 18 pond and trampoline or the tank, you change the water 3-5 days, 1 week, depend. So if you are changing it, you will see them. It is visible. Something you see, if you look at the growth margin that is much, you pick them out, put them separate. So if you do that, you have avoided that mortality.
Wow.
Of a truth, they eat each other, they cannibalize.
Yeah.
So it can be managed by doing that. Pick them out.
You sort them.
You sort them. After sorting, they are safe. Now, they can't eat themselves if they are of the same size.
Okay.
So they can only swallow if the distance is much. So that is why you sort them out, and the rest they will do well.
So how long does it take to get a fish at infant age,
okay,
and ready for supply or sale? What's the duration? How many years? How many days? How many months?
For starter, we advise not to go into fingernails because they are complicated or somehow difficult to manage. But for the post finger and juvenile, jumbo, they are very easy. Now, if you stock post with good feeding, if you feed them very well, 3 to 4 months, they are off to table size. We
3 to 4 months.
Yes,
table size means they are ready to sell.
Yes, we sell fishes in kg.
Okay.
Not per quantity.
Okay.
Now, if a fish can give you 1 kg, an average of 1 kg, it's due for sale.
Wow.
Average of 1 kg. So with good feeding management, 3 to 4 months, they will give you 1 kg.
Wow.
So that is just all.
That means fish business or fish farming really need more attention to reduce loss,
yes,
and also to have a proper supervision and monitoring of your stock.
Yes, all what fish farming needs is your observation.
Do I really need to be an expert before going to fish farming?
No. You just following the simple procedures.
Okay.
Like me, for example, I read electronics engineering, but today I manage people that study fishery.
Yeah, that's what's happening in our country.
It's all
today.
about passion.
Yeah, passion
and concentration.
And your certificate. Like somebody was telling me, he said your certificate alone cannot give you a job.
It cannot.
And now your certificate. I was asking, what certificate?
Certificate is what you sabi.
Wow.
That is it. So if you sabi, it will give you. That is just it.
So instead of waiting for white collar jobs, traveling overseas, waiting for people to employ us with as low as 150,000, I can be an employer of labor.
That is like, for now, I can say that for people like us, we are yet to see a job that we will take.
Wow.
Because of what we are.
You're already an employer of labor.
And most of my friends that even traveled abroad, they are calling me that, Samuel, this is your farm, Alpha. I said, okay, come, I will teach you and I will set it up for you. Now, most of them now, they want to fall back to fish farming because where they are now is not easy. But we that they left here, they find that we are doing better than them. Why? Because of what we venture into. I can say fish farming is one of the best business right now in Nigeria.
Yeah, like you said, the demand is very high.
It's very high.
That is a very lucrative business.
Very high because the market women are there.
And like you said, it's short-term
very short
investment.
And for those of us that are intending to go, if you have the capital, real capital, you can be harvesting your fish every day.
Wow.
Have like 10 pounds. If you have the money, every day buyers are always available.
I wanted to draw your attention to that. Who are our targeted audience? Who are our prospective buyers?
Okay, number 1, the market women.
Yeah.
Number 2, the hotel for barbecue fish, pepper soup.
Okay.
Number 3, those places. The smoked fish. Smoked fish. Number 3,
roadside sellers.
Fast
food.
And the main one is foreign exchange. Okay. Now, people export fish from Nigeria. From Nigeria? Yes.
We no longer import fish.
Yes. So now, even we ourselves now, to sit down to
meet the demand.
Yeah. You see now, so people need fish every day. They do call me, do you have fish? So I have to be calling people that I manage our farm. Is the one ready for harvest and the rest? So that I can link them up. And there's some people that do come from Enugu, from Port Harcourt, to come to our farm to buy.
So for our youth now, fish farming can easily.
Very easily.
Easily generate
Within 1 year,
a
2
lot
years,
of money for us.
Very fast.
Instead of waiting for white collar job, we can just dive into farming.
it. Within 2 years, your story has changed.
I think I'm going to look into that.
Very
with
important.
As low as 50,000.
Very important.
Wow. Also, Mr. Victor, can you tell us the challenges you've encountered so far on, or what are the challenges faced with fish farming? Of course, you know, for every successful story, there must be a failure.
Yes.
Over time that has made you grown and being successful. So how have you been able to stay strong to this point? What are the challenges for a starter now? You know, I need to know some of these. What are the challenges that I am likely to face?
Okay. Of a truth, there's no business without challenge.
Yeah.
But one thing that will keep you is your passion and your vision.
Persistence.
That is just it.
Yeah.
So for me, we started well. And one of our basic challenge that we had was ignorance challenge.
Yeah, like because, you said initially.
Yes, we started without the proper mentoring and the rest. So when we were growing, we now expanded the farm very large that we could not control. You see it now? That is greed. I can say greed. So at the end of the day, now we stock fish that we could not feed. That's why I emphasize on start with what you have.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, now we stock like 12 to 15,000 fishes, which after 3 months, their consumption level was high. We could not manage it. Instead of stocking 5,000, we stocked 10, 15,000. So you find out that it affects us. We lost that period. But the losses are from us, ignorance. So we learn from it. So I advise people, don't look at someone that have 10 pounds, you want to do 10 pounds. If you can manage 1 pound, manage it. If it is 2, grow to meet that target. Don't jump into that target.
Okay.
Because anything you jump into, it will fall. So grow. Start with 1 pound. If God is blessing you after 1 to harvest, add 1. Don't add 3, add 1, except a favor or something comes, or you have external source that will boost you up. But if it's from the farm, grow, then you can manage it. Then the other thing is, as I said earlier, those shootouts. Yeah. At first, we don't know. We are happy that this one is big, this one is big.
You know,
you
still live there.
We still live there.
Wow.
At the end of the day now, a friend came. He had fish farm before. He said, this thing, they eat money already. They have already eaten, though the effect was not much.
Yeah.
But besides that, every other thing, their sickness due to bacteria and the rest, everything can be controlled.
Both the feeding, treatment,
everything can be controlled.
The feeding, is it capital intensive?
Yes. Yes. Because now a bag of feed.
How long do you feed them? Like you said, from 1 to 4 months they are ready for sale. 1 to 3 months they are ready.
Yes.
So how often? Let me rephrase it. How often do you feed them?
You feed them twice daily.
Twice daily.
Yes. And make sure that you have a timing for it and a spot that you are feeding them.
Okay.
If it is 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., try to meet that time. Let it be an average of plus minus 30% delay.
Okay.
Because fishes, they grow according to how you train them. When it is 8 a.m., that 8 a.m., you will see them at their feeding spot.
Okay.
Waiting for you. Very simple. So when you feed them like they are fed,
wow.
That is all.
Yeah, that's true. I think sometimes 2015, when I was in my NYC, I happened to be posted to IFAD, International Fund for Agricultural Development, and I was one of the personnel that were feeding these fishes.
Okay.
Yeah, and once it is 4, like you just say, yes,
you see them,
they are playing around, waiting for.
They are waiting. If you just try to tempt them, do something, they will jump, trying to see if it is food.
Yes.
That is just it. So they grow as you train them. That time, if you give them food, they will eat. But if you change their timing, it will affect their feeding, because if they turn around for like 30 minutes, 1 hour, there is no food, they will swim off.
Okay.
So before you can gather them to feed them again, it's
so they get used to timing.
Yes, timing and spot.
Do they have a particular food?
Yes, fish feed. Yes, okay. Yes, fish feed. Yes, though we have different companies that produce. Some giant farmers that produce their own feed by themselves.
Okay.
But preferably if you are starting, you can buy a bag of feed now, ranges from 5,000 to 7,000-8,000 naira, depending on the product.
Okay.
And so anyone that your strength can go for it, you buy it. So it has already been produced. Yours is just to buy and feed. And they have different sizes. We have from 0.2 mm down to 9 mm. And there's one other thing that I want people to take note. If you're having a fish farm, make sure you know the right time to change the feed sizes.
Okay, sorting.
Not sorting. Okay. Fish feed sizes. We have sizes.
Okay, the feed.
Yes, the feed
okay.
It's been measured in mm. Millimeter.
Okay.
Now, when a fish is eating 2 mm, for example, for 2-3 weeks, they will outgrown that size of feed.
Okay.
Now, some people ignorant that they will still be using that
feeding
2
that
mm.
Wow.
Now, instead of using 1 bag in 2 days, they'll be using 1 bag in 1 day. There's another cost of loss that people do not know.
Okay.
You see it now. If you check your Bible in John chapter 21, when Peter and the rest went fishing, they caught nothing. And when the Messiah comes, Jesus Christ, he said, cast your net at the right side. That means if you have been doing fish farming and you are complaining, you have not done it right.
You have not gotten the right steps.
So those other little things affect it. So if you can observe the right time to change their feed, before you know, it will reduce your cost and it will give you the same result. Wow. So instead of feeding your fish for 2 mm for 1-2 months, you change it to 4 mm. The sizes are bigger than the other one, yes. So it will reduce the cost also, and it will give you the same result.
Mr. Victor has been telling us a lot about fish farming. It is such a lucrative business. We'll leave you with this short video clip, and when we are back, discussion continues. Thank you.
Saeed is one of the few tilapia fish farmers in Lagos who are defying the odds to remain in business. His pond has about 7,000 tilapia fish that he must feed 3 times every day. Feeding them is now costing him more and eating deep into his profit margin. Around 80% of the cost of production in fish farming actually goes into feed. Most of the feed are imported and prices have now hit the roof. Like Saeed, Remy Ahmed, the head of the tilapia fish farmers in the country, is keen on sticking it out. He admits, though, that every day he keeps the ponds running is a major struggle.
The fish that are supposed to leave the water at the end of the 6th month, you have to stay there for close to between 9 and 12 months. And in terms of cost, the price of the finished goods, which is the fish, is not increasing in the same proportion at which we buy the feed. And it's a problem. We can't make a good return from our investment.
Nuruddin Lasisi, one of the major importers of fish feed into the country, blames the high prices on a scarcity of forex in the country and the devaluation of the naira.
90% of what we use in producing fish feed, mostly even agricultural feed, they are being imported. I'm referring to soya, maize, and so many fish meal additives. So they are being imported because most of it are not being produced locally, and everything we do is being traced to the foreign exchange. So the forex is what is making the production cost to go up and making the price of feed going up.
Nigeria spends a whopping $700 million annually on fish imports. The government is hoping to significantly reduce that and save the country badly needed foreign exchange. It is counting on local fish farmers, but under the current circumstances, it seems it will be a hard task. Despite that challenge, Saeed and some of his colleagues say they are forced to pass on the cost to consumers to remain in business. But patronage for their fish too is dropping in the face of competition from cheaper imports.
This is how far we can go for today, and it has been so wonderful talking on fish farming, how it creates and generates income for ourselves and also create jobs for our youth. I still remain your host, Igbefoye John, and this is Business Talk Show on Celebration TV. Till I see you, same time, same place. Stay cool.